and I would like to add a section for our qualifications, because obviously they are very important and we want to show off those qualifications. So in this section I'm going to put in a heading, because I really want people to just stand out to other people. So I'm going to put heading 2 and we're going to type in qualifications and then close the H2. H2 is a smaller heading. It still stands out quite well and is very useful to capture people's attention. Also, it helps with SEO, search engine optimization, when we use things like headings, because the search engine bots will crawl across our pages and they'll find these H2s and then we'll use that as a supporting mechanism to index your page. So we could put some text in here inside a paragraph tag to say, here are some of my qualifications. And then we can excellent, and we'll close that paragraph. Now, as we can see from the example on the right hand side, I've put it inside a table. This is probably a nice way to show your qualifications, because you could list them as a bullet, that's fair enough, but grids usually work quite well in showing qualifications and information that needs to be seen quite quickly. So the way that we go about doing that is we're going to add inside of our section here a simple tag of table. Tables have a number of elements inside them, a number of tags, which will be very important for us to make sure we get them right in the outset. And in order to do that, we work on table rows. So if you think of an old school typewriter, you type on one row, you press enter, and it would push the line down, a little bit like we do in Word. Tables work in the same sort of sense. We work along in rows, and then we have these elements in here, or table data, on each of the rows. So the first row that we're going to have is where we put in a table heading. So what we would like to do is we'll put in a TR to represent table row, and as I have done before, just to make it easier and to stand out, we'll indent that table row just so that you can see what's going on. So here we go. And you can see that's our table row. Now inside that table row we're going to put in some table data. So I'm just going to put in an indent there, but because this is the heading, we can use a special tag for this one, and we can do TH, and TH represents table heading, and I'm going to put subject and then close it. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do table heading again, and this time I'm going to do grade and close it. So now we can see that we've got one row, which is this row here, with two table heading elements inside, which would imply that we have two columns to our table. Now I'm going to show you a very easy way of making sure that we have the right amount of rows and columns, columns in rows, because we can make our tables go a little bit wrong if we add an extra row in there that wasn't supposed to be in there, or even forget a table row element or a table heading element. So easy way to do this is inside our table that we just created, where we've got our table rows, we're going to copy that, and then at the end of that close tag for table row, I'm going to go down, so it's back to the beginning, and then I'm going to paste in what I've just copied. So we now have two rows, so we should have 1, 2. But because this one here, the second row, is not headings, we need to change the H's to D's. So it's table data. And then we can put in some information. or a subject. So we could put English and then put your grade in that you got. See. Once you're happy with that, you could then do the same if you want another table row. Now this time you've got a table row, table data, not table headers, and you can copy that. And you can go to the end of the table row, press enter, backspace, Control V or right click paste, and then you can change the content inside. So I'm happy with that. That looks quite cool. And I'm going to save. Just make sure we save our projects as we go along. It's very important to do so.